Welcome into the Speeding in the Pits podcast with your hosts, Wyatt Williams, myself, and Connor Klon Huberty, who has the Wyatt Williams logo as well on the bottom of his screen.
I just
I
saw that
just
actually.
I
We
just
just sat here and
noticed that.
talked for a half hour, and I didn't see that was there. Hot start for us.
We're off to a great start. It's
Yeah.
Daytona week. Nothing can bring us down unless you're Christopher Bell. That's the only thing that could bring you down this week.
So far, we're 8 hours into it, and I'm already scratching my head. But I'm gonna get my name changed too while we're getting started because why not?
Well, that's great. We have qualifying going on right now as we're recording this, so we're kind of checking back and forth between that to see as the final results happen. My dogs are also running around here as I'm getting this stuff going, so bear with us if you hear any noises
Everybody's
or loud
pumped.
bangs. That's Cuddy's just pumped. He's pumped for the Daytona 500 on Sunday. I was gonna start with qualifying results, but I think we should wait because we're getting we got
Yeah,
we
well,
got Briscoe
literally
running his lap right now,
last
so the
car
last car.
right
So we'll
now.
we'll save that for the next topic. I guess to start out, we have 9 open entries. 2 have already made it, that being Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Of the 7 cars that are left, who makes it in through the duels?
Boy, I didn't pay much attention, I'll be honest, to the junior motorsports entry with Allgaier. It kind of felt like something we all kind of knew was going to happen eventually. Um, that car is sweet, and the fact that my social media was
It is
just
sexy.
blown up this morning with Dale Jr. being at the track at like before 6 a.m. when they opened the gates and like walked the car through tech and like how much pride he was taking in it. I can't help but pull for them. So I hope Allgaier's making it in. And then I really hope, for the sake of, I know there's a couple other guys I'd like to see make it in too, but for the sake of just the whole, I don't even remember what they called it, the provisional, I guess, the champion provisional, the resume provisional, whatever NASCAR's got.
Which only works for drivers who weren't NASCAR drivers because Jimmy Johnson didn't get his in.
Right.
But anyway, that's
Yeah, exactly. And so I hope Cashew Nevers makes it in just through the races tomorrow night. I hope we're not sitting here talking about, him being the 41st car and doesn't deserve a spot and all this stuff. So just make it in the right way and we'll worry about the rest. So hopefully Cashew Nevers.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It would totally throw a huge wrench in this whole champions buy-in thing with that they've done for him. Because, dude, if he gets in and he did decent during his qualifying lap. Practice. Practice, I thought he looked pretty good. His qualifying lap was tough, wasn't it?
It's bad when the broadcast team's even critical. Harvick even said, like, I think the quote was, he's going to want that one back kind of thing. Like, and I was just on Twitter here before we started recording I commented on something Jeff Gluck said, and basically along the lines of like, what this should be the exact case in point to NASCAR as to why we don't do that. Why? Because he's Helio Castroneves. Like, I respect his resume is amazing. He's a phenomenal race car driver. Nothing but respect for him.
Legend.
There's no reason we should be handing out a free pass to our biggest event of the year. That people clearly show up, and the most cars we've had since 2015 try to make this thing. Like, it's the toughest race to make in the Cup Series. And we're just going to hand out an entry to a guy like
Travis Pastrana had to qualify his way in.
And did it, though. And
did it. That was what was lost. He finished the race, too.
Yeah, he had a good
He had a great 500.
Was that last year?
It was 2 years.
Two 500s ago.
Yep, it was 2 ago because I was there. I watched him race. It was sick.
And he was, I think it was something, we'll getting too far into it. He was a fluky pit stop thing away, pit strategy wise. He was going to be in contention down the stretch there. If I'm not mistaken.
Because Ricky ended up winning that because of all the late wrecks there. In that one.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, he was too, but
because that was 2023. So yeah, Ricky won that one. And yeah, I mean, down the stretch, he was right there the whole way. And I'm watching and like looking at the grid, and I'm like, wow, the 67 car is
still in there, huh?
Top 10 right now, and there's 20 laps to go. What the hell? Like, it was awesome. He, like I said, he finished the race. Like, hats off to him for that. But that was 2 years ago. Sorry, I got off on a totally different speed.
No, but to your point though, like that was such a more rewarding and I guess a better way to gain respect in my eyes anyway. To like, and the duels haven't even happened yet, so maybe he'll make it in. But if he does have a clunker of a night tomorrow night, causes a wreck or something, or spins himself out or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and then backs into the 500 as the 41st car. Like, is that really something we should be celebrating? Like,
No,
who feels good about
I
that?
don't. No, I don't think he would either. Honestly,
Exactly.
like he's such a competitor. I don't see him being excited about
No,
that.
he
So
definitely wouldn't.
it would be tough. My two picks for the 7 cars that are left, I totally agree with you. I would love to see the Traveler Whiskey number 40 for JR Motorsports. I would love to see them in. That would be so cool. And I I have always had a soft spot in my heart for BJ McLeod.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I just got a soft spot in my heart for the guy. He just races the big races every year, and when he does, like, he's led laps. He's had some decent runs and stuff. Like, I am a if you've got a dark horse, guy that you cheer for who doesn't run all the races every year, that's my guy. I love BJ McLeod. He's so cool.
Yeah, no, and to that point too, like he's really the only one. You could make the argument on a couple others, but BJ McLeod's really the only version of last generation's racer. You know, like low funding, running a part-time schedule, just showing up when you can, like
Racing, like, actually for the love of racing.
Yes, 100%. Like
there's no money.
He doesn't have a charter. He's not getting paid out through the charter agreement. He's not making.
It costs him money to show up to the track. I guarantee it.
He's making fractions of dollars that other teams are making, and you're talking like low-level charter teams are making, and that says something. So, shout out to him. I'm with you there. That'd be cool to see as well.
I'd love to see him make it. That would be. I would be fulfilled, especially because we got Martin Truex, and Martin Truex, I don't think was that big of a surprise that he made it in, because I mean, he raced at Phoenix, so outside of the Clash, he's just as warmed up as the other Cup guys. He hasn't. It's not like he's missed several seasons or run this limited schedule like Jimmy Johnson has for a couple seasons, who also made it. Right. But Martin's still dialed. I mean, he's still right there. So I wasn't too surprised to see him make it through.
And my logic going into that too, maybe Jimmy's team's gotten a little bit better, but a Toyota like Martin's running, like there was some talk and rumblings about Junior's car too with Allgaier, but like how much top tier support is that car getting? Like, is that a 5th Joe Gibbs Racing car?
Yes. Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes, it is.
That car was. You look at like some of the other open teams, and this again, I love that we're back to 45 cars. We're sending 6, maybe 7 guys. Well, we'll send less home than that. 5 guys home, I guess. Maybe 4 if Helio is the extra. But I love that we're back to that point, and no disrespect to these guys, but if they were true open cars, they were running like 50-second laps. The fact that Martin was down in like the 49.5s, like that was a heater, dude. And there's not many cars out there running like on the fringe of a 49.4. So
no, that's moving. That's
moving. The other one too, the other rumor, not to knock him again, but the Junior Motorsports car I heard is like a quasi Hendrick 5th. So that lap time shocked me for the opposite reason, that it wasn't.
It wasn't as good. Yeah. Well, you know what shocked me? Both of the Dillon brothers qualifying into the top 10 and getting into round 2 of qualifying. How about that? I mean, especially for Ty Dillon, we were talking a little before the show about that. Like, I mean, guy literally got rode off by his own grandpa just 2 weeks ago. Like, just 2 weeks ago. And now here he is. I mean, it was really cool to see, because I was sitting there watching qualifying, and I had stepped away for a minute and came back over and saw that he was in the top 5. And I was like, what?
Oh, there's got to be a lot of guys left to go.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what? And I had to do like a double check real quick. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we got 2 more to qualify here. I'm like, what? He like guaranteed he made the second round? And he did. And let's see, because qualifying is over now.
Briscoe ended up.
Briscoe ended up being
back up there. I didn't see who was second yet. I just saw it flash by that. Yeah, it's Joe Gibbs' first pole in a long time, or first one in a Toyota or something like that. I will check the stats here as it comes back. They're at commercial right now, but yeah, Briscoe's on the pole for Sunday, which for the Gibbs cars, the Gibbs cars were terrible in qualifying last year. All the Toyotas were.
Yep.
So
no, it's a big one. I mean, it's
Toyota found something.
Yeah, and especially for Martin to step out of that seat and Briscoe to step into that seat, that's such a big seat to fill with Martin stepping out. I mean, you're filling the seat of a champion.
Yeah.
And I mean, Briscoe is no, noob to that. He literally stepped in after Tony Stewart. So I mean, like,
right. True.
It's not anything that's not new to him. But I mean, what a breath of fresh air for that team, and kind of a sigh of relief. Like, hey, we can do this thing. Like, we're a Joe Gibbs team. So cool for them to be able to snag a pole in their first points race with the new 19 crew. Big for them.
Yeah.
All right, now moving on to who. Okay, so this one. So I was downstairs putting the show rundown together, and I looked at Nikki and I said, "Okay, give me one topic about the Daytona 500, and I will put it in the show tonight." Like, I just want to see what she'd come up with. And she was like,
I like it.
Who's the first to wreck, and how far into the race do they wreck? So who you got?
We do this pool. We don't do the who. We do what lap will be the first caution at our Daytona 500 party every year.
Okay.
So that year, I think she's picking a good topic here. Who's the first wreck? And oh boy, I would love to say like lap 150. I want a clean start. I want this thing to roll green for a while.
We did not roll green for a while last year, wasn't it? Lap 2 or something. Harrison Burton was in the infield.
Waited all the way to Monday and then junked half the field in 2 minutes again. Well, not quite half the field. At least it was a smaller wreck. We've done worse.
It was a chunk.
Yeah, but or like 2021. That was the race started right before the rain hit, wrecked them all, and then it rained all afternoon, and we restarted the 170 lap race with 12 cars. I'll say the first wreck. Let's go lap. Let's see, stage 65. Let's go lap 65 for stage 1. We'll wreck coming to the line. And who? I'll go Christopher Bell because he doesn't believe in practice, so he doesn't need it.
You just got a picture of this guy. Now you got beef with him?
Well, I love no offense to Christopher, he's awesome. I love the Daytona 500 more than I love Christopher Bell. So like when you're coming in here with a bad attitude and letting me know about it, I gotta say something.
It's early to be complaining. That is definitely for sure. And if
5 hours into
if he's already annoyed, then this is gonna be a long season for that 20 car. Woo!
Garage gate had barely swung open, and he's in there complaining about how unnecessary these practices are.
I'm gonna say we have one early, but not too early. Let's go 30 laps in. Oh man. Eric Jones. I don't know why. That's just the first name that came to my head. I no rhyme or reason to it. I'm not gonna sit here and crap on Eric Jones like he's a wrecking ball or something. Just that was for some reason, the Michigan man came to mind there. So I take Eric Jones.
Well, take note of all that, and yeah, let's see how we do there.
We'll see how we do.
I hope I'm wrong.
And then obviously Daytona 500, a huge manufacturer race. Like this is, I would say, the most predominantly, what's the word here? The most predominantly manufacturer involved race. I mean, they literally pit in cycles together and all that stuff. So which manufacturer brings their A game this weekend and comes out on top?
The last couple of years, I've really liked what Toyota's done. I know they don't have a lot to show for it in wins in terms of actual Daytona 500s, but I like the way they organize. I like the way they work together. They had 2 or 3 or 4 of them at a time always seem to find each other at the right time, and they just work well. With that being said, they're the lowest car number in the race, so I think we just talked about the wrecks. it doesn't take much to eliminate any sort of
And
force
they
they have.
literally was that Talladega last year where like all the Toyotas wrecked at once and
That was,
eliminated
I
all
think, 2 years
themselves?
ago now, but yeah, yep,
I'll just
yep, where they wrecked they all wrecked
they're
each
all
other.
racing down the backstretch and all of they're coming
Yeah,
into turn 3 and the
piled
the
them up.
broadcasters do what?
They just all piled them up. Yeah,
Yeah, literally the broadcasters were like, "Oh, they're starting to make some good time here," and then just boom, they all just one of them went and the whole pack just followed them straight into
yep.
the wall.
So
Pow.
yeah, I just really have been impressed with what they done. Went back and watched last year's 500 here the last couple days, and again, like I said, just the wrecks at the wrong time take out a lot of fast race cars for them, and that leaves them pretty short-handed. But if they can stay in it and dodge a bullet here and there, I think they're pretty good. Especially though, I mean, now that they just put a car on the pole, but
No, 100%. I'm trying to find the qualifying results here, and for some reason,
oh shoot, here, let me
they're
grab
not coming up.
them. Yeah, the TV broadcast. I'm glad Fox really stuck around to talk about it because boy, about
They're already out.
15
We already got a
seconds
game
later,
on.
we're gone. We're watching college basketball again.
In and out, baby.
Well, it's
Real
Briscoe
fast.
and Cindric on the front row. Boy,
Okay,
what a
so a
bummer!
former
What a bummer for
500
Priest.
winner. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah,
That
Priest would have
dude
been really
ran an
cool to see back there.
absolute. I mean, I guess he didn't
Where'd he end
even.
up at?
I'm trying to find it. I guess he didn't even win round 1 technically, but man, for how fast that car was.
I thought he made it through the second round, but
Oh, he did. Yeah, I just mean like for how fast round 1 was, I would have thought for sure he'd been a
you were
factor.
expecting
But
front row. No, I
I was
totally agree.
hoping.
They looked really good. The 60 car looked great. And kudos to him, another guy who switched teams this offseason and is, taking a leap forward so far. What it looks like. We're very early. I don't want to start calling, things before we get too far in.
No, but to that point, like I do think, it is one thing where it's qualifying for the 500. A lot of this, like, you're going to race tomorrow night and flip a lot of this on its head. If you qualified 4th tonight, you could start dead last on Sunday, like the whole thing. But I do think there's a certain amount of momentum that comes from this. Like, I think there's a lot of positive to take from it. If you chase Briscoe, obviously, yes, but Ryan Priest too, Ty Dillon, like, there's quite a few guys, Austin Dillon, like there's a lot to be happy about. And, your whole team should celebrate a night like tonight, I think.
Absolutely. And over the last couple of years, speaking of manufacturers, kind of staying on the same train there, over the last couple of years, we've seen Ford get off to a really slow start, but obviously won the last 3 championships, so they clearly pick it up pretty fast and run. But do you think we see the same slow start this year again? Do you think they kind of come more prepared, or is this kind of the tactic? Like, try different things and see what works. That way we can be ready for the end of the year.
I do think that's how it's going to go again. I think there's something to it. Like we talked about a few times in episodes last year, there's just a way they run the playoffs, and the schedule is just pretty favorable to them. If it's tracks or whatnot down the stretch too, it helps out that way. So I actually don't expect much change. I'm surprised. They had a good showing tonight. They actually put all 4 of their cars that made the top 10 in qualifying went 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're fast, but at the end of the day, I think it'll be interesting to see when we get to the 1.5 miles and in the miles and even short tracks at the beginning of the year where that all shakes out, because I don't really see it being any different. But I mean, again, we just talked about momentum. It just takes one little thing, but they definitely do save things for the playoffs. There's no doubt about it.
They've got some kind of a formula down over there, especially
Yeah.
at Penske. I'm not sure what it is, but they've got some kind of a formula they got going on there where they just essentially the whole first half of the season, I don't want to say they run bad, but they just don't run like they do at the end of the season. They don't run elite great. They don't run like
Right.
Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney do at the end of the year. Like, they just don't.
No,
So
you're right.
I think they've got some kind of a formula there where the first half of the year they're really trying new things, trying to figure stuff out to get to that end of the year. And then once they get there, seems like once Sonoma hits, I mean, they're just really comfortable with the schedule from then on out and can really just slide, ride, and glide their way through the schedule to a fourth championship here, maybe. Who knows? But we have got the Great American Race on Sunday. It is the biggest spectacle in our sport. Love it so much, and it's great because I'm a football fan as well, like you are. So we've got a 2-week stretch here of Super Bowl Sunday, Daytona 500. Like I just
That'd get you better.
I can't complain. And the Sunday before that we had the Pro Bowl. How great was that?
Well, I was watching the Clash. Yeah,
it was abysmally.
I watched Tug of War, and
yeah, I watch dodgeball every year.
But...
I watch dodgeball every year. That's really. I watch the YouTube highlights for dodgeball, and then they've always got some dumb relay race or something where like the Bosa brothers this year were speed walking it. It's like this is the corniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Made
and
for kids, I understand.
I'm an Ohio State guy. I love the Bosa brothers, but just like, man, that I don't know. It's not even them either. It's the Pro Bowl as a whole. But anyways, this is a NASCAR podcast. Sorry. Our biggest spectacle is this weekend, Daytona 500. 2 questions here for you. Number 1, who is your favorite to win it? And number 2, who is your long shot winner?
Boy, I usually try not to make a pick till Thursday's over, so you're ambushing me here a little bit.
Yeah,
I wasn't
here
quite
we
ready.
Go. You got your qualifying order.
Yeah. To be honest, I've been leaning this way a little bit. Just watching back. I'm such a super speedway junkie. I go back. I've been watching Daytona 500s literally since the season ended in 2024. Just about like every other night I'll watch one. And then I kind of dive into the last couple of years of Talladega and Daytona to get an idea of where people are at. And I don't know if he's like a favorite at this point. Maybe we'll see after tomorrow night. But I think Bubba Wallace is a name to watch at this point.
I love that pick. I love that pick.
I think it's quietly just kind of faded that he's finished, second? What year was that? 2018?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's really great at the super speedways.
He's won at Talladega, and he's been close to Daytona. Like, I think it's truly, if there's a year, it just feels like this is the one. He's kind of refocused, new crew chief, just kind of coming.
He's got a son now. He's in dad mode, Klon. You know all about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It makes you drive a lot
What's
faster.
that like? Does your perspective on life change? What does that do to a man?
To be honest with you, yeah, I would think so. It would maybe focus you up a little bit. Just trying to spin it in a positive. I mean, hopefully he's not losing too much sleep at night, so he's well rested for this weekend. But yeah, I think Bubba's, like I said, it's now or never really for him here in the next year or two, and I think people have kind of forgot about him enough where this is the right time to make some noise.
Yeah, I think even if he doesn't win this weekend, I think they have a great season this year. I really do. I think the improvements that he made all last year toward the end of the year, I think they're going to carry that over. And Denny said on the podcast last week that like he put in more work this offseason than anybody at Toyota. Any Toyota driver, you name them, Bubba Wallace put in more work this offseason than them. And hearing that, and on top of the fact that he already had the great year last year to end the year, kind of a slow start for them to begin the year, but they ended very strong. To see how that went and to hear that he really spent this offseason really just grinding, entering dad mode and all that stuff. I love that pick, man. I really do. My favorite at the moment, and this is probably completely biased. I don't doubt that one bit.
Don't know where this would come from.
You know exactly who I'm about to say. Give me Chase Elliott.
Don't hate it. Dude, even if it's biased, I don't hate it.
No, I know. And here's my thing. They're on a hot start this year. Chase is solid at super speedways. Not going to sit here and tell you that he's Ryan Blaney or Denny Hamlin at Daytona. That's not what I'm saying. But he's solid at super speedways. They find a way to every year be consistent in these super speedway races. That of course that they don't get caught up in a wreck that happens inevitably.
Yep, exactly.
But I think they had a really solid car. They got a new focus coming into this year. And I think this could be a great year for Chase Elliott, especially starting off here. They've already got some heat. The last person to win the Clash and the Daytona 500 was Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. So
Denny Hamlin.
Run it. Was it Denny?
2016.
That's right. It was Denny. His dad did it the time before.
But he was, the only person that had done it before, I do believe, was Bill. But
I'm an idiot. Sorry.
no,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good.
I'm sorry.
No, that was only,
No,
that's a core memory for me because I was at
no.
the 16,500. So that was kind of like they were showing it like, I think he led it halfway, which like never happens. He had won the Clash or the Bud Shooter was Sprint Unlimited at that time, whatever it was.
That's right.
The week before.
He just
So they were
dominated that
talking about
whole
that
weekend.
down the stretch. And like, yeah, he was a rocket ship.
Yeah,
from
that's
the
right.
beginning.
My bad.
No, you're good. No,
but
no.
yeah, no. So I think he could follow in his dad's footsteps here.
Your dad's footsteps.
Double down, exactly. Double down on that. He's dad mode type thing. Even though Chase is not a dad, but anyways,
his dad is.
His dad is a dad. His dad is a dad. We need to put that on a t-shirt. But no, I think that they run really well at the super speedways. I think Chase has got a shot. And yeah, I think they're bringing a whole new mentality into this year. Chase seems more.
I think Chase is. If anybody, I think Chase Elliott's got a little bit of a new lease on life, so to speak, in racing right now, it feels like.
And I haven't had a driver win the Daytona 500. I was talking with Nikki about this. I grew up a Matt Kenseth fan, okay? My only 2 Daytona 500s, the first one got rained out halfway through when Matt won it in 2009. Okay, so I didn't even get to watch the full race. I was disappointed about that, but hey, Matt won, so I was happy. And then my second one was when Juan Pablo Montoya decided to drive straight into the jet dryer and shut down the race for a while. I was a kid, so my dad said, hey, man, go to bed. So I had to go to bed.
For that.
I didn't get to stay up. I didn't get to stay up. I went,
well, you were 15?
2012.
Yeah, you've been 14, 13?
I was born in 2002. I would have been 11.
Oh, God, yeah, you're my brother's age. Okay. Not that that's a massive difference anymore, but at the time, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I was 15. Okay.
Yeah, I was 10. Wait, no, it was 2012. So I was 10. Yeah. No, if it was 2012, I was 9 because my birthday's in September. So I had just turned 9. So I was 9.
Okay. Yeah, I can see why you went to bed then.
So yeah, my dad sent me to bed.
I feel really old all of a sudden. I don't know why that happened.
Sorry. I do that to Austin all the time. Dude.
All right.
I do that to Austin.
I stayed up for the race. It was awesome, but
yeah, I wish I could have.
Was really hoping Dave was going to win that one. To be honest with you, the Dave Blaney deal that would have been fun. But
Dave Blaney, that would have been really cool. But yeah, no, my dad, of course, sent me to bed. I didn't get to finish the race, and of course, wakes me up the next morning for school and goes, "Hey, buddy, guess who won?"
Oh, there's nothing worse.
Great.
Dude, okay,
great, Dad.
I'm not gonna lie. I love your dad. I'm sure he's great. Never met him, but shout out, sir.
Shout out, Chuck.
My dad did the opposite for me when Tony.
He let you stay up.
So, like Tony winning at Daytona in any race was just, and you're sitting here complaining about your driver winning the 500 twice. My God, I'm a Tony Stewart fan and a Ryan Blaney fan. Like, come on now.
It's okay. RB could do it this year. That's another guy that could.
But oh yeah, always. But like Tony winning anything at Daytona, like a points paying race, he had won the shootout a couple times. Whatever, it was a big deal.
Didn't he win the summer? He won the summer race too, right?
In 05.
Yeah.
In 05, speaking about being 8, 9 years old, we were at our family cabin. I went to bed. The race got rain delayed to start. It didn't start till like 10:30 in Daytona. The thing ended at like 2 a.m. Even up in Minnesota here, it was like 1 something. Dad dug me out of bed at the cabin and sat me down in front of the TV, like, watch this. And it was like the last 15 laps, and Tony won. And it was like the greatest, one of the core moments of my life. Like, it was awesome because Dad knew how much I cared. So, like, to see that happen was pretty sweet. So,
yeah, El Padre sent me to bed.
He gave you the nude. He gave you a tweet instead of letting you watch it.
No, he did. It was tough. Great dad and all. He just didn't let me watch the 2012 Daytona 500. So I'll always hold that against him. So,
but yeah, sitting here complaining about your driver winning 500s is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I totally forgot you're a Tony Stewart fan,
dude,
and a Ryan Blaney fan.
You can't get any closer to winning it than I have without winning it. That's so dark. I'm old for lifetime.
Oh, that's so dark.
Especially Ryan now too. The last couple, 3 or 4 times he's had a shot at it.
He has. He absolutely has. And I mean, anytime you go to a super speedway, Ryan Blaney's going to have a shot. I mean,
I mean, like last 2 laps, like battling for the lead type, have a shot at it. Like Tony had 5 or 6 of those. Ryan's already got 3 or 4. Yeah, see, I'm right back in the sweet spot again. Here we go. I'm a Vikings fan too, man. It just never ends. It's all the same. It's all one song, as Bill Walton says. Same song
pain.
and dance. It's all ones.
It's
all
just
one.
pain. Well, we were just going to do a short show tonight because obviously you didn't have a race last week to break down, so we're just doing a preview of Daytona. Real quick before we hop out, we got 2 things. Number 1, your long shot winner, and then the dice.
The dice. Long shot winner. I'm going to go Zane Smith.
Dude, I am loving your picks tonight.
I'm locked in with the 500, man.
Dude, you're dialed, man.
I'm not kidding you when I say the 500 is my favorite event of anything all year. Doesn't matter what it is. Daytona 500. The racetrack itself is my favorite place on earth. It's my Disneyland. Like, this is the biggest week for me every year by a mile, and I take this very seriously. Like, I get the picks down to a science. But anyway, Zane Smith, I think decent driver. Shouldn't say decent. That sounds degrading. Good driver. Finally going to be in a little bit better car. I think front row's a rocket ship at super speedways. Talked about the Fords maybe getting stuff together if they can dodge some bullets. Zane Smith at the end. Going to be fast.
And hey, he did that several times last year where he just hung around and almost got a win a couple times. My long shot winner, I hate saying this is a long shot, but considering the year that he had last year and the fact that he's never won a Daytona 500 before, it is your pissing partner at the Chili Bowl, Kyle Busch.
I wanted to pick him so bad.
That's who I'm going to go with for my dark horse. I just think you were talking earlier about Bubba with a now or never situation. With every race that passes now, I think it's now or never for Kyle Busch. So I'd love to see him start out the year and just get that win, get it off their chest. There's no more sweat, anything like that. They just get to enjoy the year. Kyle doesn't have to be stressed. Gets to go to the playoffs again because the NASCAR playoffs are better when Kyle Busch is involved.
Anything Kyle Busch is involved in is better.
Anything Kyle Busch is involved in is better. It 100% is.
I'm with you there. I don't know if I'd consider him a super big long shot.
That's what I'm saying. I hate
like
saying
third.
that, but
I think he's going to end up being like third best odds in Vegas to win the thing. But
oh, really? I'm asleep at the wheel tonight, bro. I
think he was the favorite last year, actually.
I had a long day at work, man. I was in court all day.
Oh, well, that would make anybody make their brain shut off. So no blame
I beat the case.
Yeah, that's right. Win's a win.
I'm just kidding. I was covering a case.
yeah, I figured. No, I do think with Kyle, like, again, watching back last year's race last couple days, he's one of the guys, I would say there's a handful, but he's one of the guys that really kind of have the I can get to the front of the field at will. And with this car, I know there's a lot of variables of picking the right line and just kind of moving, you're almost playing Frogger with just picking lanes and what way the elevator goes kind of deal. He's still, like, there's something about being consistent. And I know we can say these races are crapshoots and we can say it's all luck. And while I do think there's a little bit of like, hey, you missed that one wreck or like this happened, that happened, there's more luck involved here than there is at other racetracks. But there's lucky bounces and everything. That's just sports. So, yeah, a little bit, but there's still consistency, and Kyle Busch has a lot of that. And I think there's something to be said for that, too. So, I think he's a good pick. Either way, whether he's a long shot, favorite, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Well, it is time. We finished all of our NASCAR content for the show today. I don't know if you can hear it.
It's Daytona time.
It's your name.
It's a 3 for Dale.
It's a 3 for Dale. I love it. It's a 5 for Kyle Larson. It's okay.
Yeah, throw that die away. It's still a 3 for Dale.
It's still a 3 for Dale. Of course it is.
Are you rolling that thing or just dropping it on the table?
I'm dropping it. Do I need to roll it? You want me to roll it?
No, I'm just kidding. I just meant he's setting it down.
Let me get a roll here. Let me get a good roll here.
Spin that thing.
It's still a 1. It was a 1 both of the last times.
I don't mind the 1.
So, Ross Chastain.
I guess.
That or Jamie McMurray. Daytona 500 champ in the 1 car.
Good point. I like that.
Maybe Ross Chastain comes away with it this weekend.
Ross's car is sweet. The Busch Light car looks real nice.
Dude.
I'll tell you that.
100%. Real quick before we go, you know who else's car is ridiculously nice? Like, I was like thought it looked really nice in the hype up graphics and videos they made, but then I saw it on the track and it is like levels past what I thought it was.
I've got my favorite one from the night besides a couple, but go ahead.
Joey Logano.
I do like that one. That
That
wasn't in my top,
22,
but that's
oh
nice.
my
It's
God.
nice.
With
Yep.
the red hood and the white tail. Whoa.
They needed to do something different. I'm glad they went away from just the basic yellow, especially since the 34 looks the same, even if it is Todd driving it. Like they needed to get away from each other a little bit. So I'm glad they switched it up. My two favorites from the night, besides Ross, he's in the mix too. The Travelers whiskey car, Justin Allgaier. That thing is amazing.
It looks great.
Alex Bowman's Ally car. If this race, which it sounds like, is either going to be a night race or we're going to talk to you on Monday about the 500. If this race is run under the lights, I might pick Alex Bowman. Oh yeah, it's going to rain on Sunday for sure. We're back. Yeah. I was going to bring that up as a topic we talked about tonight, but it's going to rain one day this week for sure. It might rain on Friday too. It's going to rain on Sunday.
That's great. It's Florida. I don't know why I'm surprised I did.
It hasn't rained in Daytona in 3.5 weeks. It's going to rain on Sunday. Actually, I shouldn't say it's rained a little bit, but Sunday might be a washout just like last Sunday was.
You're crazy. You got the forecast on lock for Daytona. It hasn't rained there in 3 weeks.
I've been checking the Daytona forecast for 3 weeks. I promise you.
You know those forecasts. I work with weather guys. They say they're only accurate, like legitimately accurate.
No,
3 days out.
You're right. The rain totals and everything have changed every day, and it's fluctuating. But I follow meteorologists that work in the racing world on Twitter. And basically what they've said is, yes, the totals and the times of rain will change, but it is a cold front coming into Daytona on Sunday. And there's no escaping that factor.
So are we, dude, I don't want to race on Monday, dude. We raced on Monday last year, and I finally stopped working Sundays. I'm finally a Monday through Friday reporter. This is my opportunity to sit down and watch a Daytona 500 live, not hours after it's happened. Dude, that's so frustrating.
And you want to know something crazy? I went to my first Daytona 500 in 2016. I've been to 4 of them, 16, 17, 19, 22. The only other one since then, rain has not affected it, is 2018. 2020, rain. 2021, rain. 2022, I was there. 2023, rain. 2024, rain. 2025, probably going to rain.
Yeah. It is.
Florida. I think we should move off President's Weekend. I think it's a weather pattern. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't even know if that's a real thing. We should move the 500 off President's Weekend. Go next week. Tell the NFL they can have President's Weekend. Put your 18th game in, please. Add it. It used to not be on. It wasn't on President's Day for a while. The 500 wasn't. Let's go back. Get off this weekend.
Yeah,
I swear to God, it's going to be 80 and sunny. Not this Sunday, but the next one.
Next Sunday, of course it will be.
I promise it will be.
That's so frustrating.
It always just rains.
Dude,
it just rains.
Swear. So are they thinking it's going to be like postponed 100%, or are they like
no? And the thing that bothers me is like we'll even get to Saturday with this, like we did last year. More like Friday. And no, the rain is coming. Last year was an anomaly. It's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be from Saturday night to Sunday night kind of deal. But NASCAR will not. They will not even pretend to think they know it's going to rain until the last minute. Like, I just wish maybe we'd prepare a little bit to be like, hey, let's adjust it. They don't touch the start time. They don't touch anything. It's like we're starting on time. Everything is hunky-dory. It's all good. And then we're going to wake up Sunday morning, and it's going to be 40-mile-an-hour winds, it sounds like, and a light drizzle. We're not
perfect
racing.
Super speedway conditions. That's just
just send them out there. It's fine.
Flawless. Oh, dude. So we're racing. So we're racing on Monday.
Either the only two possibilities I've seen so far is it either starts at about 8:00 our time, 9:00 in Florida, on Sunday night, or it's going to be Monday mid-afternoon again, 3 o'clock or whatever. The only two things I can really deduce it to. Because Monday is clear, obviously. It always is.
That's so frustrating.
Here, let me check. While we're here, journalism.
While we're here,
let's get a new update on the weather. I haven't checked. It's probably about 1 or 2 o'clock today.
I haven't checked since what?
Dude, I check this thing about 6 times a day. To be honest with you.
I believe you. That's true.
My one buddy, I gotta tell you this. You just met him, Mitch.
Mitch is great.
Is down in New Smyrna.
Yeah, because he was thinking about going.
And they're still thinking about going to something in the next 3 days. They're not going to go Sunday because it's sold out and prices are outrageous at this point.
Outrageous, yeah.
So I was filling them in. I sent him, I don't know, a couple texts that are probably about as long as a book. And he responds back, like, just all this information of, like, bring this, or you could do this, or you could go to this race, or you could do this instead. He responds to me, he's like, I'm a little bit scared by, like, the amount of information you have about this. But I'm mostly impressed. And I was like, I'm pretty scared, too.
I'm terrified, actually.
Here you go. The forecast for Daytona Beach, Florida, on Sunday, February 16th, Daytona 500 Sunday, is windy with thunderstorms in the afternoon, high of 81. Winds 20 to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain 60%. Great. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles an hour. At night, clear to partly cloudy. No chance of rain.
Perfect.
But that has actually gotten worse since the last time I looked at it. So I wish
racing on Monday.
Let's go to the weekend breakdown and see if I can get a little bit better in-depth look at this here. No, this is the Weather Channel doesn't give you a good breakdown of the daily.
That's so tough.
But it's going to rain. And it actually sounds like it's going to rain worse than we originally thought. Than I thought. I thought it was a mist. So, like, oh, they just dry it and off we go. But it's going to pour.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right.
Such a buzzkill, man. It is such
a low light to end this show on right now. I mean, wow. My heart's broken. Good. I had a Daytona 500 watch party coming over on Sunday. Now I'm like, I told them all to get here.
We still have our party.
I told them all to get here at noon.
That's what we do. We always just party anyway.
That's a good point. We'll just do that. We'll do that.
A lot of us have off. We take off work for Monday in preparation of the party /
movement to Monday.
It happens on Monday. Yeah. So.
Yeah, should have done that. You know, didn't think about it.
Rookie mistake. You're what?
Literally,
14, 15 years old, so you'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's tough. All right, well, man, sorry we ended on such a low note.
It might not rain. It might not. It's Florida. Just think all the good vibes.
Fingers crossed. Think all the good vibes there. It's going to go north or south of the track, and we'll be perfectly fine.
The only hope we got.
That's tough.
It's going to rain in some capacity.
Yeah, it definitely will. Well, thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to hear us talk about left turns. We appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Tell your grandma about us. Seriously, she's got to know. She's got to know. She's also got to know that this Daytona 500 on Sunday is ruined now because of the rain. So thanks, Mother Nature. We're out of here. We'll see you guys next time.